Hey YouTube, this is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of World Divisions. So, I know I've been making a lot of videos about topics of limited time units. Should you be saving them? Should you be, ignoring them? And ultimately, I have many stances, right? One of them was I really wanted to summon for limited time units only, really, per se, because a lot of the other units, you can just let them fall in your laps because we do get a lot of free summons in this game, get a lot of free gems, and there hasn't really been many units that I really want to go after in terms of their non-limited. And I've been telling folks that it's a lot of work to work those limited time units. We are many times over unsure of what's going on in JP in terms of EX job level 25. Is it going to be every single time a new unit is released they're going to be given that opportunity to advance, or is it we have to wait for a lot of reruns for a lot of the limited units to have the ability to get to level 120? You know what, at the end of the day, none of that really kind of matters, right? What end up mattering is how you want to approach the game, how you want to play the game. And I think that's kind of like my message as of late. And I decided that I don't want to spend, and given what happened with the whole 4UR banner on Cyber Monday or whatever the case was, and I told people, you shouldn't spend, speak with your wallet and all that stuff. But in a lot of the revelation of what's been going on, people decoding things and all that stuff, I'm not really a tech jargon, techie kind of person, so I don't know exactly how it works. I did end up watching a couple of the videos and explaining how the actual coding and the seeding, whatever terminology we're using, still a little confused, so to speak, but it's fair to say that that topic conversation should be over with. And I kind of plead to the global players, let's just drop the situation. If you still have distrust for the company, I can't tell you not, to start trusting them, whatever. None of that I can tell you what to do, but all I can say is, let's just go ahead and move forward. I think I would not ask people not to spend simply because of, what happened, right? Do what you want to do. End of the day, it's your money, it's your time. Do what do you want to do. But all I can say is, if you don't like the game, if you don't like what the company's doing, why even bother playing? Just simply walk away. It makes everyone happy, perhaps, in that sense. Don't stick with something if you know it's not going to be a good outcome for you. There's no reason to stay behind and kind of make it negative for other players. I think that's all I can say. But today, actually last night, I went and did something crazy, and I'm gonna go and show you what I did. So I was laying in my bed and I was just contemplating, I've been thinking about a lot about what I've been doing in this game and telling people this and that and expressing myself and this and that. And last night we did the stream. Oh, by the way, we had a lot of fun. So I want to thank all the folks that came. We did have a lot of fun. We figured out a lot of different stuff. Some stuff perhaps not exactly sure if we should be knowing, right? I mean, we figured out a lot of people like the certain girl bands and things of that nature. It was a very interesting stream for a few moments in the duration of that, and then but of course we figured out we had a lot of fun, and overall we have some really good conversations. And one thing I talked about was there's a potential of me starting a Discord. Now, of course, I'm going to talk to my guildies to see what's the best course of action, whether it'd be good if we start just a channel within our guild Discord and have people come in, or I just start my own Discord. But since I don't know a whole lot about Discord, and I'm not really like a techie person, I need moderators and this and that. It really depends on what the community thinks, right? If you guys want me to start a Discord and me to run in all that stuff, I can look into it. But I have to tell you right now, I'm not very tech savvy. So if there are folks that can help me out, folks are willing to want to help me out, just let me know. But again, I'll talk to my guildie and see what's the best course of action for that. I think they're on board and supporting me in doing a lot of different things for the community through the channel. So they're definitely going to be supportive of whatever ideas I come up with. But I just feel like we need to have a topic. We just need to have discussion and figure out what's the best course of action for, my guild and of course for the community in whole. But I'm going to tell you what I did, because I was just sitting in my bed, and the dogs were sleeping, my fiance was sleeping, and I just thought to myself, you know what? I know I've been telling people, maybe you should just not spend and maybe you should just save. But at the same time, maybe have a goal for yourself, like set like a small goal. Kind of like decide if you want to summon for something, but then set yourself a cap. Like 10,000 gems would be a pretty good cap. So I decided to summon. Okay, I know this is crazy with only 10 days left in the collaboration of Final Fantasy IV. I figured why not, right? I mean, I had some gems laying around. There honestly aren't many units that I'm really looking forward to in the future. And even though if they come out, most likely wouldn't go after them anyways. And if I did, 10,000 gems would be alright. If I don't get them, just don't worry about it. If I get them, then I can at least work on them over time. Getting that first copy is very crucial. But for limited time units, however, it is a lot more important to work as hard as you can and get them as high as possible before the event ends. Because right now, we're not exactly sure how the planning is going to be in the future in terms of reruns. There were talks of Final Fantasy XIV returning for global, but we still haven't seen it. And from the grapevine, we heard that the JP players really wanted that banner. And I think, on the JP server, they did that because of demand. And I'm not exactly sure if there's a global demand. So you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? You just can't predict for games like this. Anyways, long story short, I decided to spend some gems. And I want to show you what I got. I know you're probably thinking, well, what did he get? There's only 2 possibilities, right? Well, let's begin with the first one. As you can see, I got Rosa. I was summoning on the Kane's banner, by the way, and I got Rosa. And I thought to myself, well, she got some thighs, as you can see, and there's some other areas that definitely the artist really wanted to, portray. And overall, I don't really know her that well. And I think she got a really nice kit, right? She's definitely a really, really good unit for PvE content. And ultimately, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about PvE, And so I thought to myself, well, I got her. I got the bow almost a +5. I'll be okay with a +4 because not many of us use bows in this game, right? Many of us be farming bows or anything. But I'm very close to getting a +5 bow. And I already got all of her spears from the Trials of Reckoning. And I got her, might as well build her. And unfortunately, one of the issues when you summon for limited time units is that you only have a limited time to try to max them, right? And I didn't have a lot of free gems. I have tons of paid gems because of the Cyber Monday and the Black Friday, those package. I bought a few of them. And so ultimately I decided, well, you know what? I got a nice bonus for Thanksgiving. I'm picking up some extra ships now. And so that's a lot of cash coming in. And then of course, another bonus on Christmas. And I think we get one on New Year's too. And so that's like a good solid chunk of change. And I thought, well, maybe I could just buy a few more packs. And so I ended up buying a few more packs. And because I needed the free gems to build the unit. I don't like to spend paid gems to buy shards. That doesn't seem right to me because paid gems, you can go a long ways with them because you can buy tons of things that directly guarantee you for specific things you're seeking. And then of course, by the way, I got her, I think on the 1st or 2nd pull. And so, I still have a few extra pulls left. So I went in and did that. And here's what happened. Yes, I did get Kane. So then I thought to myself, wait a second. What am I going to do now? I can't not build him, right? I can't not build Rosa and not build Kane. So I decided to go to ultima.jp and kind of looked up where the Japanese players saw these 2 units. Rosa's got a pretty high ranking, and she's definitely one of the decent units in terms of just building in terms of PvE because she's very solid in that sense, right? She has a guaranteed hit, believe it or not, and she can heal really well. And I think ultimately I love healers. I love tanks. And Little Leela is definitely a really great healer. But, Little Leela is more so PvP oriented. She can do also really well in PvE farming, right? But Rosa, she's just a really solid supporting unit. So I figured, okay, now I got both. And the good news here's the good news. I already got the spear almost done. I got the bow almost done. I already maxed out the Demon Wall, and all of those were on free gems, by the way. So it's kind of like, well, now unfortunately I do have to spend some change. And I think that's one of the issues that we also have to run into, is you have to also plan ahead, because even though you got the unit, you still have a long ways to go to build them, right? And I was almost out of these rainbows, but because of the few packs and the summons, and of course doing all their challenges, I got a bunch of these spears back. But now I'm flat broke again, and there's almost no way I can max a lot of different things right now. So I am going to be behind in that sense. But the good news is I should be able to get him to level 99 without having to break the bank. But then again, you know, realistically speaking, I'm never going to break my bank, right? Because I haven't really spent enough to warrant breaking banks. And my bank is okay, so I'm not really too worried. I don't, by the way, I have no financial issues. Like, I have no debt of any kind. So at my age, that's actually really, really good. So I did spend 2,000 free gems on some of the packs that I bought for some cane shards. Of course, as you can see, I'm down to 3,300, but this doesn't show my pay gems, obviously. And like I said, I want to stick to free gems and building units. Of course, I haven't even started on Rosa. I do have 10 days. So with what, 500 tomorrow, another 2,500 next week, and you don't know what they're going to be giving us next week, right? So we're looking at 3,000 gems right there that I can use. And of course, I can try to scrounge around a little bit and see what else I can scrounge in terms of the game offering me free gems. I also increased my rank quite a bit because I went back and like pulled all of those different things from the training, you know, when you like awaken units and when you spend gems and things like that. So I did get my ranking up to 105, and a long time ago I spent pay gems to buy that pack where as you reach higher ranking you also get additional free gems. So I've been using as much as I could to see if I could finish these 2 units up. I know it's insane because this was a poor choice, and I would have got tons of gems refund had I done this during Black Friday and all that stuff. But you know, I thought about it. It's like, if you're a spender, right, there are a lot of things you don't need to think about. Just play the game you want to play it. And ultimately, the game itself is rewarding enough for you to not pay attention too much. And so, you know, just do what makes you happy. And I think that's what ultimately boils down to. Just do what makes you happy. And there's a possibility that I can just probably pay gems to get these things, because look at this. Maybe this is a good idea if I'm really desperate enough that I could just go about this way, since I have so much pay gems instead of free gems. And that's something I might think about doing. And this is another thing I thought about. It's like 1,000 pay gems and I get a regular bow. That's like what? That's only like one recipe. That actually seems like the worst. This is the worst. I don't even know why that's on sale. If this is like a +2 or something, maybe that would be better, but anyways, hopefully I'll get all this done. I'm actually a little bit excited now because, well, you know, let's be honest, I didn't expect for this to happen. I was thinking that I would never get these units, right? I was like, just gonna ignore them because, you know, end of the day, you don't really need them. I keep telling people that you actually don't need these units, and I still stick by that. You actually don't really need these units. I mean, they're good for what they do, right? Kane is really good for PvP, and Rosa is really good for PvE, but end of the day, you don't really need them. But the thing is, if it makes you happy, then go for it, right? You know, ultimately, just be responsible when you're spending, and be responsible and understand what your personal goals are, and do what makes you happy. Life is short, time is short, you know, do what makes you happy. So again, I'm a little bit excited about it, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if I have any regrets at this point, you know, like, and one thing is, I have stopped collecting things for almost a year now. And so I always told myself, a lot of that spending that I would have done for, you know, that hobby, I'm just doing it for this hobby. And I'm okay with all that because like I said, you can't take a lot of the stuff with you when you know, ultimately, you know, reach the end of your road. So, you know, that's a one good way to look at life. It's like, make every moment count, you know, make every moment count in your life, and just do things responsibly. You know, don't do something in the present to ruin something in the future. Always think ahead, but make sure that, you know, what you're doing is good for the future, and of course, for the present as well. So I think that's the only message I can really give people, and let people know that, you know, don't let other people tell you what to do. Ultimately, you know, play the game however you want to play, right? Everyone says this. All the content creators says this. All the people out there that I see respond to content creators say this. People on Reddit, people on forums, people on Final Fantasy official video channel, whatever, comments. People just say the same thing. Like, you know, just play the game at your own rate, play the game at your own pace, enjoy the game however you want to choose. Don't let other people dictate you. But at the end of the day, you know, if something bad is happening from the company's perspective, then speak up, right? Do what you feel like is best for you. You know, do you. But at the same time, make sure you have enough evidence. Make sure you know, sit there and think in terms of logic. Think as an adult, that is this what something being done as malicious, intentional, and things like that, right? And then if you don't have enough data and you're screaming wolf, all that does is it makes the community look bad, and eventually it's going to harm the game. If you truly love this game, you want to make sure you think every term in terms, you know, you want to think things in terms of logic. Don't do things out of haste. You know, don't jump to conclusions. You know, let chips fall where they may, and then, you know, make adult decisions at that point. So anyways, I think that's all the time I have for this video. Hopefully I can get the spear done. Hopefully I can get the bow done, and get the 2 units done. And then I am good, because next week is, I think, is a new raid. And I think I'm just going to relax, to be honest. I don't really want to push too hard on raids, no matter how good the item is. It doesn't really matter to me. One item doesn't make or break the game. So anyways, until next time, take care of yourself, all your loved ones. Time is your most valuable resource. Spend it wisely, and of course, spend your money wisely now, because, I mean, I've done the same thing recently. So Nashtaters and his family out of here. Peace.